Good morning, guys. It is day 75 of taking a cold plunge every day. Guys, we are within 15 days of knocking out this 90-day challenge. It's hard to believe it's almost been 3 months. And yeah, we're wrapping up the first quarter of 2024. Guys, it's about 50 degrees out. We're gonna get the water temperature and jump in. Alrighty. So the water is reading right at 50 as well. All right, guys, so I'm gonna share 2 quotes. A lot of people have asked me, does it get easier? And I think the routine helps in terms of you just know you're gonna do it each and every day. But in terms of getting into the water, the first 15, 20 seconds is not easy, and I don't know that it ever will get easy. It's something that takes focus, and I think that's what drives that mental clarity. When you get out, you have to get to a place mentally where you can prepare yourself, endure, and then come to the other side. I think that's also like life. There's a lot of moments where it's really hard for a short period of time. It's very intense, and the tendency is to give up as opposed to pushing through, just like this, where I'm sitting here breathing, trying to get through that initial first 20 or 30 seconds where it's just really cold. And then you're able to actually talk on camera, communicate hopefully in a clearer way. And I think that's life, where you push through and then you're able to come out the other side. But oftentimes it's just in that 15 or 20 seconds or that short burst of time that we give up or can give up at times. And I think that's what 2 of these quotes are gonna talk about here, guys. All right, nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education alone will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. And I think that is what's so powerful, guys. Education's important. That's one of the most important things you can do. And yet John Calvin Coolidge is sharing that essentially education alone is not, and that's right, because it takes action. You have to have persistent action. It's not just enough to have the education, to be smart, to be talented. Take action and take repeated action. As I shared earlier, keep chopping the wood. I think that is what sets apart, will set you apart. And then here's one more quote. My motto was to always keep swinging. Whether I was in a slump or feeling badly or having trouble off the field, the only thing to do was to keep swinging. And guys, that's Hall of Fame baseball player Hank Aaron. And I think the irony I'm going to share about humans is that, and Zig Ziglar actually talks about this, but it's interesting how we can often see it for other people. But when we're going through either an issue, so oftentimes like, hey man, you're going through an issue at work, and you're maybe telling a friend about it, and you're complaining about, hey, like you wouldn't believe what they're doing to me. And I say, hey, just continue being persistent, keep working, being faithful. You have no idea, because we oftentimes, again, we can't see it for ourselves. We can't see determination, persistence for ourselves. It's hard to do that. It's hard to, each second matters, and it's hard for us to do that. I think on the flip side, it's also hard for us to see victories. It's also hard for us to see, hey, I can become successful. I can make $1 million. I can do X, Y, or Z. I can become a faithful father, loving husband. I can do these things. And it's hard to internalize and believe that as well. The most important work oftentimes is what we do right between our ears, in terms of what we communicate to ourselves and what we communicate to others. We have to be before we can do. We have to do before we can have. And to be, you have to believe. You have to hear. And that's why it's so important what you're hearing each and every day. You have to hear it and then internalize and believe that. And then, and only then, will you be able to accomplish those massive goals that you have. All right, guys, it's at least 3 minutes. Let's go make it a great day.